Now, the students who are here, I would like you to look at your teacher, or if you're close to her, shake her hand, or his hand, and say thank you.
Thank you, Liz.
The teachers did a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes. They had additional preparation that they had to do. The folks who are doing the workshops are called our partners, and as you've been moving around, please thank them. They work very, very hard. They give up a professional day, means they do extra work during the week, so they're available for you folks today. And it's very important for you to aware how special you are. In the last couple of weeks, you've seen on television, on Twitter, on social media, whatever it is that you're looking at, you've seen some young people that are your age speaking about climate change and the earth. And you are the future. All of us adults here that are working with you today are preparing you for the future and the responsibilities that you're going to have to make sure that we're living with climate change, because that is a global fact. I would like to thank, again, everybody that is here today. I'd like to hold up the staff of the Parks Department, the building management of this building, because of the extra work that they had to do to invite you in. I'd also like to thank the Future City staff and interns. They were here over the weekend. They worked off hours to be here today for you. Again, thank you, and please, you are the future, and we're going to be entrusting you to care for our world.
I am the future.
I am now introducing Council President William Goldman, and we have been doing Estuary Day and environmental education for over 19 years, and he has been very much in anger in that process, as has Councilman Brover, as has Lisa Barron in the Army Corps, and Stan Neron. And I'm handing the mic over to Bill. He is going to be emceeing the rest of the program, and I want to thank you.
Good morning, Michelle. Round of applause. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And for those that haven't been here, welcome to the Peterstown Community Center. I would like to thank everyone for attending this Estuary Education Forum. I have joining me today my colleague on City Council, Councilman Matty Grover at large. Give him a round of applause. And also to his right, Director of Parks and Recreation, and also from the Board of Education. Stand here with him. I'd also like to thank to all today's presenters and volunteers for setting up displays and participating in this program. I would like to welcome this year's student, and I'm proud, extremely proud to say we have 13 schools participating with us today. And they are Dwyer's Academy, Halsey Academy, Jefferson. You can go Edison Career and Technical Academy. School number 1, 2, 8, 9, 15, 27, 28, 29, and 30. City of Estuary is proud to partner in a program that provides students with a chance to learn why our estuary is so vital to all life. Future City, who co-sponsored Estuary Day, was kind enough to coordinate today's event, and as always promotes responsible stewardship of our environment. And you just heard from the co-CEO, Michelle Duran McBean of Future City, and our staff have been working on environmental issues that affect our city and have been a positive voice and advocate for clean water issue for over a decade. Let's give Michelle and her staff a round. It's so important that you understand and learn about our nature resources. Many of you live less than a mile from one of the most important waterways on the East Coast. It's also important that we protect our natural resources and become active caring for our environment. From organizing cleanups to picking up litter on the sidewalk or whether in one of our parks, every little bit helps. When working towards a bright and healthy future, this past week, New Jersey's First Lady, Tammy Murphy, spoke about climate change and what we can do to help. She stated, New Jersey is warming at a rate faster than almost other states. Our shoreline are vanishing. We have harmful algae blooms. Rain coming, torrential downpours, and our summer are blazing hot. All of this is a direct result of climate change. And I'll let you know that's one of the things that I talk about sometimes in my block party meeting, how important it is to have trees planted in our city, in our community. To our city, most of our city are becoming a heat island because of the climate change. So when you plant these trees, that helps block the sun rays from entering to our city. Many years ago, when we had our sidewalks, we were trying to upgrade those to conform what they should be. A lot of people used to have concrete and light chalk out in front of their house and on the sidewalk. That is not the way to go. Right now, we're trying to get every home in Elizabeth to conform the way they should be. And if you look around and walk around through our city, you'll see the upgrades. We're here today because we have a shared goal to ensure that all students understand climate change and the effect of it, not just from a scientific standpoint, but in overall area. It's important that students ask questions on why storm can do so devastating and how this will affect the lives of their health. It is not just about being litter-free, it is also about being prepared and educated. I hope each and every you leave this forum today with a better understanding of how important it is to work together to build a strong green foundation for our neighborhood. I encourage you to continue to utilize your talent for science, technology, engineering to make a difference and to transform lives. I would like to thank our dedicated partners for organizing this important event. Have a great day, enjoy the fall, and prepare for the year. At this time, I have no problem introducing this young man. He and I are close friends, have worked on city council for many years, and we as a team as one. And he supports my ideas, and I support his ideas because they're all great ideas. None other from the former from the first ward, but now at Lloyd's, none other than Councilman Lloyd Manny Grover. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, we're almost there. Still morning. Do you guys know what this is? Plastic water bottle. Mr. Future. You. Who said he was the future? Okay. Well, I think this water bottle, if you put it into the ground or into our estuaries or into our waters, will probably be there for millions of years. Fair? So, your future, and then your kids' future, and your grandkids' future, will go back and possibly find this water bottle somewhere buried in our grounds, because it never goes away. Why is this important? Because throughout the country, throughout the world, there are trillions of water bottles thrown into the oceans and into the grounds. that is very important for you guys to realize that something so simple as this is going to affect the future of our world. So I'm going to ask all of you, and I do this every year because it's important. You're here to learn something, but I want you to be ambassadors of the earth. So if you walk around with your buddy and he's drinking a water bottle, or he's drinking a juice, or he's got a plastic bag of chips, instead of just tossing it, ask him to put it in a wastebasket. Okay? Or better yet, in your house, your younger kids, your younger brothers and sisters, or more importantly, your parents, don't just throw water bottles into the regular garbage. Don't throw plastic into the regular garbage. We have a recycle program in the city of Elizabeth. If you put out your recyclables every week, or every other week, we will take it away and we'll bring it to a facility to recycle. Just the simple thing as one water bottle a day from all of you in this room will extend the life of this earth for many years. So just keep that in mind. You know, I preach this every year. I have 3 kids myself, and we are very big on recycling in our house. Because the point is, as you are the future of this earth, we want you to have an earth to enjoy it. So if we did that in our generations, and previous to my generations, with a lot of the pollution and not really taking care of earth, but you guys have the opportunity in your generation to change that. So take that message from today. Don't forget, 1 water bottle, each of you, goes in the right place into a recycling bin, can save many, many years for the life of this earth. So thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the day. Learn something, as I tell my kids every morning when I drop them off at school. Learn something today, okay? Because your mind can really absorb a lot of stuff, and just take advantage of that, all right? Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. You know, Councilman Grover mentioned about plastic. As you know, if you look around other cities, we haven't got there yet, but we're working on it. People have brought it to my attention as city council president about us still continuing to use plastic bags from the stores. Let you know we're heading that direction. We haven't gotten there yet, but pretty soon we're going to be talking about it more and more, and we're going to pass an ordinance eventually to stop using plastic bags. So thank you, Councilman, for that information. Give me a round of applause again. Before I bring Stan Neron on, I just want to mention, I stopped by several tables earlier, and one of the tables that really caught my eye, who all in here love fish? Raise your hand. Who all love fish? Everybody. I love fish. I got both hands. As I walked by, I noticed they were talking about the catch and release as we do down here by the port, by the Arctic Kill. Many years ago, I don't know if you, I know you guys are too young, but some of those in here remember those days. We actually, you could go there and actually fish, and you could catch them and eat them. But that's no longer true nowadays because of the pollution that has affected our water. And that's what we're here today to try to prevent that and continue to happen. So think about that. That was a good subject. I like that one, talking about the catch and release over by the fish. So listen to what they was talking about. Do not eat the fish from that Arctic Kill. Before I go any further, a young man has been doing a yeoman of a job. Oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute, I got to get ahead. Lisa's going to come, right? Lisa, I'm getting ahead. I'll bring you up. I better be obedient. Let's give Lisa Barron from the U.S. Army Corps for a round of applause.
I have no water bottle. I just have to echo the councilman's speech that last week we had a harbor inspection with all of our partners, and we gave out these water bottles as a gift. And we, tried to do our part to, stop using single-use bottles and basically had refills. So I think it's really, really important that everyone starts to do that. New York's already banned plastic, so New Jersey's right behind it, and we're right behind it. That's great. So I just want to thank everyone for being here today. I'm really honored to represent the partners that are here. And I just want to thank the mayor's office and the councilman, especially Michelle McBean and Future City, the Watershed Alliance, for their dedication, commitment, leadership for hosting this event every year for 19 years. That's incredible that they've done that. And especially, I know your teachers were really thanked, but bringing you here to us to give you this experience out of school, and it's a beautiful day outside, to get you here so that you can allow us, all of the partners and educators, to share our knowledge and hopefully excite you in learning about the environment and as well as the importance of the estuary and how you can make a difference. I think it's really important. So how many people have been in my classroom so far? All right, shout. So, all right, quiet. So I hope that you guys learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to lots of other classes, lots of other people to come, and I want to meet you all. But hopefully you learned what the Corps of Engineers does and what an estuary is, and you know that I am a project manager with the Corps of Engineers, and I manage the restoration program of the entire estuary and all the way up the Hudson River to Albany. And so I talk literally about estuaries every single day, right? So and advanced projects and working with partners to improve that estuary. And I know that there's a lot of people in this room that are also working to improve the estuary in many different ways, whether it's restoration, like my program, Bringing Back Habitat, and working with those partners, or oysteries, if you've been to the Baykeeper, bringing back oysters to this region to improve water quality, or educating you all to not eat the fish, just as you talked about, or just cleaning up contamination, doing lots of different things that improve the estuary, and resilience is the theme here, right? Figuring out ways to adapt to climate change and sea level rise, making our shoreline more resilient is critical. And so one of the other things that we all work on is figuring out measures and solutions to protect and reduce risks of flooding and storm events. And that is more critical than ever as climate change looms upon us, increasing storms and frequency flooding. So I think that's really important. And I know that those are lots of activities that are done with the estuary, but the estuary is also home of the second largest port in the United States, right? You all know more than anybody as you live here. You have Port Elizabeth, Port Newark, right across the Arthur Kill, the New York Container Terminal. You guys get to see these big ships coming in, right? And by the way, just a few months ago, we were number 3. Now we're number 2. So we are improving in that we're the greatest and largest in the East Coast. So that port is so integral to the economic viability of this region. Bringing in those large ships, I think so many things that you own that you don't even know. All the clothes that you're wearing, all your iPhones, as you're Snapchatting away and posting pictures on Instagram, those iPhones, Xboxes, video games, everything that you have is coming on these big ships. And the cars that your parents drive, and if this port wasn't here, basically everything would be so much more expensive, would have to come in through a different port, and end up costing you way more. So it's really important to the economic viability of the region. So I guess there are a lot of people in this room that play a vital role in making this harbor a world-class harbor estuary. The Corps of Engineers and our partners, we like to say we have a vision for a world-class harbor estuary that incorporates all of the benefits of the navigation and economics, but the health of the environment and the safety and protection of the estuary. So all of those things play a role and are critical to the successful environment. And I guess as you learn a lot today and ask a lot of questions, I had the most phenomenal questions. It's where the 7th graders and 6th graders in the house are rocking it, because I had the best questions in 12 years that were so intuitive, and I think the more you can ask questions, the more you can learn, and at least walk away with what an estuary is today, right? The mixing of saltwater and freshwater. Since it's Estuary Day, no one said it. I think that it's so important, and as it's been said, you are the future, And we thank you for coming, because we wouldn't be able to talk to anybody if you weren't here. And thank the teachers and everyone else for coming. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. You're welcome. Thank you.
Come on, we can do better. Give Lisa a round of applause again.
The next person is going to come to say a few words to us. Like I said before earlier, this young man also has been working diligently throughout the community throughout his career. He has joined the Board of Education, and not only that, now he's also the director of the Parks and Recreation for the city. So without further ado, let's put your hand together. Stand here on around the place.
Good morning, everybody. All right. Elizabeth Public Schools, make some noise. Wait. We got to do better than that. I got to wake you guys up. Elizabeth Public Schools, one of the best schools in the nation. All right, so we're going to compete. Let's see if this side got it. Don't say nothing over here. Elizabeth Public Schools, make some noise. They lost already. Elizabeth Public Schools, make some noise. I don't know. We need some. We gonna do it again? Good morning, everybody. It is an honor to be here with you today. I want to thank Future Cities. Let's give Future Cities a big round of applause for facilitating this event. Our Council President, Councilman Bill Gorman, our Councilman at Large, Councilman Manny Grover. Let's give them a big round of applause. I want to thank all your teachers and administration that are here, namely Mr. Aaron Goldblatt. Let's give Mr. Aaron Goldblatt from the Elizabeth Board of Education a big round of applause. But you came with teachers, right? Did you come with teachers? Let's give your teachers a big round of applause. And let's make them because without our teachers and without the leadership in your classrooms, you will not get the necessary instruction that's needed and motivation that's needed to make this happen. And we want to thank our teachers for their resiliency behind pushing the agenda behind the environment, resiliency, talking about Estuary Day, Environmental Day, and making sure that we take ownership of our environment. I want to just briefly, everybody said everything you needed to hear today, right? And I'm last, so I'm in between lunch, so I'm in a very bad situation. So I got to get out of your way really soon. But what I am going to say, if I can have your attention for just 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Can I have your attention for 2 minutes? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Is that resiliency is not only about coming up with great strategy, but it's about a great feeling, right? And whenever there's a challenge in front of us, we have to try to overcome that challenge. And when you're able to overcome that challenge, you're resilient. But it's a feeling. When you take a shower, how do you feel? You feel fresh. You feel good, right? And it's that feeling that motivates you to move forward. Because after you take that shower after a hot day, or you were working really hard, or you were gardening, or you were doing something, you take the shower. Somebody says I said enough? Okay. You take the shower, and then you feel good about yourself. And that's what taking ownership of your environment is all about. It's being able to keep that environment clean, being motivated to do that, and having that good feeling to do so. So you're conscious before you litter, right? To not litter. You're conscious about what you put in the water. You're conscious about taking ownership of your environment. It's about a good feeling. Because if you can keep your bedroom clean, you can keep your environment clean, you can keep your neighborhood clean, it's that same feeling you get when you take a shower. It feels fresh. It feels motivating, and then you can spread that word throughout the world with your friends, and it's the idea that you have to think about. That's the idea of resiliency. It's a feeling to overcome. It's a feeling to feel good. And you have to understand all the great work that you're doing. You're doing some amazing things here. And I see the work that all the groups are doing, so give yourself a big round of applause. Be proud of yourself for the work that you're doing.
But see, if you don't motivate your friends to take ownership of the environment, your family, the people that you come in contact with every day, your teachers, your school building, you have to motivate that change. You're the change that you're waiting for, right? Because if your neighborhoods are not up to par and they're not kept clean, you got to take initiative and say, hey, let me lead by example. And today, you're leading by example because you're here. So give yourselves another round of applause for showing up. So just showing up to engage in this type of work. You have amazing strategies, you have brilliant minds, and you are the future. But you're actually the change that we have been waiting for, that society has been waiting for, that you've been waiting for. So take ownership of it. Be proud of it. Continue to do the great work that you do. All right? Take ownership. Have a wonderful day. As Board of Education Commissioner, as Director of Recreation, I am very proud of you, and your superintendent is proud of you, your Board of Education is proud of you. Congratulations, and keep up the great work.
I would like to thank all the speakers for their thoughtful comments, and I hope you all, they were speaking with you and to you, and I hope that you listened to them, because their words were rich and they were timely. You're going to be going into a lunch break now with your teachers, and I think people are ready for it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day.